I'm live. All right. I normally start every broadcast by saying, hey, Cossack crazies. But since we are taking on the Brookings Cubs for the summer, hey, Cubs fans, welcome to another evening here at Bob Sheldon Field. A matchup between our 3-0 Brookings Cubs and the Elkton Snappers in town. This is a non-conference matchup, so it should be a lot of fun tonight. We've got some starting lineups out here. We've got a schedule to go through for the Cubs. I'm going to turn the volumes up on this so you get a little background. We'll hand this over to a PA announcer, my friend Aaron Jornby, AJ, and he'll get us with some starting lineups on the field. I got starting lineups up here as well. A nice evening, as it turns out. There was some rain that came through Brookings early this afternoon. There was a scare about a half hour ago of something rolling through, but it keeps moving to our south, and the skies are starting to open up just a tad. So we should not have any worries about weather, but it should be a lot of fun here at Bob Sheldon Field tonight. Just going to open up a door, get some air in here. So the first thing I'm going to do before we hand it over to our PA announcer is thank our exclusive presenter here on Saul's Media, Bankstar Financial. With locations in Volga, Brookings, and Elkton, Bankstar provides big-time business with a small-town feel. Looking to finance a home? Need a car loan? How's your retirement plan looking? Stop in today to chat with the local professionals. Bank on the bright side. Bankstar Financial, a proud sponsor of everything we do here on Saul's Media. And now this summer, the Brookings Cubs gets added to the list. Exciting stuff, at least for me. Maybe not for you guys, but exciting for me. Just trying to keep busy, you know, just trying to add things, stuff, stay relevant, stay busy, stay working, you know. A little bit of history, at least. Maybe we'll get in that once the game gets done here. We're going to have the managers meet at home plate. They'll exchange some lineup cards down there. The umpires will give them some sort of, last-minute instructions. Here's our plan. If you yell at us, we're going to throw you out of here. No sunflower seeds on that turf. And all the other rules that go along with Brookings Cubs baseball here at Bob Sheldon Field. It's been a fun week on Saul's Media. It really has. Part of this Saul's Media idea that started in Sioux Valley Athletics last fall with the volleyball team carried through in the wintertime through boys and girls basketball. Then this spring with, wanting to stay busy, wanting to stay relevant, keep working, get better at everything. I took on the Sioux Valley softball team, the girls softball fast pitch, and it's been a fun week. On Saturday, they went down to Beersford. They were in their Big East Conference tournament and brought home the championship with a nice plaque that they keep for a year. And with the 3 wins that they got in Beersford, it kept them as the 5 seed in the SODAC 16. So in Class A, they were the 5 seed, and they were able to host the Lenox Orioles just yesterday afternoon at 5 o'clock. And in come-from-behind victory fashion, down 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning. They bring 3 across after a senior hit a 2-run home run to straight center field. And then it was an RBI single to bring in a runner on second base. And the Sioux Valley Athletics punch their ticket to the Class A state tournament next week in Aberdeen. I'll have more on everything that's going on with Sioux Valley Athletics. My home broadcasting school. I'm going to hand this over to AJ, our public announcer, and he's going to give us starting lineups out there, do a little Star Spangled Banner, and we'll be right back around here with some Brookings Cubs action. Don't go anywhere. Cubs coming up next.
Batting 6th, number 20, the right fielder, Billy Supin. Batting 7th, the left fielder, number 11, Elliot Erickson. Batting 8th at first base, number 30, Brandon Supin. And batting 9th, at shortstop, number 1, Logan Keel. And now the starting lineup for your Cubs, first the non-starters. Number 34, Matt Gerard. Number 28, Logan Anderson. And number 3, Jake Ammon. As well as number 8, Justin Koffel. Starting lineup for the Cubs, he'll lead off, play center field, number 0, Henry Hamrick. Batting second at shortstop, number 25, Isaac Bonner. Batting third, second baseman, number 32, Colin Gibson. Batting fourth, the right fielder, number 44, Rhett Zielinski. Batting fifth, number 14, third baseman, Parker Winghart. Batting sixth, in left field, number 7, Miles Reese. Batting seventh, number 22, designated hitter, Lincoln Vasgar. Batting eighth, number 15, the first baseman, Arlen Peters. Batting ninth, doing the catching, number 20, Zach Struck. Batting 10th, number 99, extra hitter, Nolan Miles. And pitching for the Cubs, number 4, Tucker Wookie. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise if able and pay respect to the flag located in left field. Active duty or retired military who are not in uniform may salute the flag. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
A little Baton Rouge by Garth Brooks. Good call, AJ. Starting lineups on the field for the Elkton Snappers tonight. Batting first, number 4, Brady Steen. He'll be playing center field. Batting second, number 3, Dylan Keel. He'll be at second. Batting third, number 0, Aiden Erickson, our third baseman. Cleanup. Batter is number 16, Aiden Stewart. He is the pitcher and the DH. Batting fifth, number 13, Charlie Harming. He'll be catching for the Snappers. Batting sixth, number 20, Billy Steufen. He'll be in right field. Batting seventh, number 11, Elliot Erickson. He'll be in left. Also, he's got a state track meet tomorrow. He'll be in the pole vault, the 300 hurdles, and an alternate on a 4x200 relay. Congrats to Elliot Erickson with the ELB track team as he's got a state track meet starting tomorrow. Batting eighth for the Snappers, number 30, Brandon Steufen. He'll be the first baseman. And batting ninth, number 1, Logan Keel. He'll be playing shortstop. For the Cubs, out in the field out there, we've got Tucker Wookie as the starting pitcher tonight. He is of SDSU men's basketball, an assistant coach, newly named. So congrats to Tucker, and we'll see what he can do on the mound tonight. Batting first for the Cubs, number 0, Henry Hamrich. He'll be in center field. Number 25, Isaac Bonner. He'll be at short. Batting third, number 31, Colin Gibson. He'll be at second base. Cleanup hitter for the Cubs, number 44, Rhett Zielinski. He'll be in right field. Batting fifth for the Cubs, number 14, Parker Winghart. He'll be at third base. Batting sixth, number 7, Miles Reese. He'll be in left field. Batting 7, Lincoln Vasgard. He's the DH for the Cubs. Batting 8th, number 15, Arlen Peters. He'll be at first base. Batting 9th, number 20, Zach Struck. He'll be catching tonight. And the extra hitter in the Cubs lineup, batting 10th, number 99, Nolan Miles, the extra hitter tonight. For the Snappers, their leadoff hitter is Brady Steen. And that was low for ball one. Let me just get caught up now that I've got the starting lineups out of the way. Those starting lineups brought to us by various sponsors, but we will be getting more sponsors as we roll through this. Tomorrow is going to be sponsor day for me, as we now have to get some money for a Sioux Valley softball team heading to the state tournament up in Aberdeen next weekend, and also get some sponsors to be a part of the Brookings Cubs for the summer. I was looking at the schedule. Now, look, I work at Bell Brands. That is my regular job, and it looks like a favorable schedule, at least around my Bell Brand schedule, to be at most of the Cubs games this summer. And that is going to be a leadoff walk to Brady Steen. So the Snappers get a runner on first right away. Dylan Keel, the second hitter in the lineup. This is number 3. He'll be playing second base for the Snappers. Batting now with his leadoff hitter on first base. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Steen gets back to first base on the throwdown. But it was ball one to Dylan Keel. Showing bunt once again. He will pull that back. Be 2-0. So we'll have plenty of time tonight to get into all things Sioux Valley. That is my regular play-by-play position, but going to be fouled back into the netting. 2-1 now to Keel. Just want to keep you up to date with all the COSAC happenings, but I'm very excited to be the Cubs announcer this summer. I will be able to get on the road. We're going to go through some of their schedule later on through this broadcast and let you know where and when and how. But there's a big shot, left center field. Dylan Keel will have that bounce right in front of Hamrich. So the Snappers, now with 2 batters on, a walk and a single to start the game, and that's going to bring up the third hitter in the Snappers lineup, Aiden Erickson, number 0. There's AJ backing me up on that, and I have Erickson shows bunt, pulls it back. So, as normal, the remote on this scoreboard is failing me. Eesh. That pitch fouled back, so we have a 1-1 count now. There we go. Okay, now we're up to date. This scoreboard app, it does have its moments. We've had a lot of fun with this thing on the road, and it's just a nice addition to what we get to do. That ball gets away from the catcher, away from Struck, and that'll allow the Snapper runners to move down to second and third. It'll be a 2-1 pitch coming. So Brady Steen moves to third, Dylan Keel to second. Aiden Erickson, the third hitter in the lineup, now hitting with 2 runners in scoring position. He's got a 2-1 count. Wookie will fire it. And that'll be low. Gets away from the catcher, but runners stay. 3-1 now to Erickson. Brookings Cubs so far on their season have started 3-0. 3 impressive victories, including one over Del Rapids PBR. There is a shot into right field. It's ranged by the second baseman and brought in. That was Colin Gibson on the catch. So it'll be just a pop up to second base. 1 out now for the Snappers, with runners on second and third. Coming to the plate, the cleanup hitter for the Snappers, number 16, Aiden Stewart. The pitcher / DH tonight, the left-hander. Wookie will fire just outside on that offering. 1-0 now to the Snappers cleanup hitter. Also too low. Gets away from Strock, but not far enough for the runners to try to do anything. So 2-0 now to Stewart. There's a ground ball, right side, fielded by the first baseman, and he'll just touch first base, but a run does come across for the Snappers. They strike first. So Aiden Stewart officially a 3 unassisted for the second out, but Brady Steen comes around to score. Dylan Keel moves over to third, and with 2 outs now, the 5th hitter for the Snappers coming to the plate, number 13, Charlie Harming. He is their catcher. He will look at ball 1. Low on that, gets away from Struck, but not far enough away. 2-0 now to Harming. Some of the other things we can talk about tonight, the T-Wolves on the verge of being eliminated. They were supposed to fire up at 7:30. I need to update my ESPN app. There's a foul ball down the left side. 2-1 now for Harming. So the Timberwolves just getting going as far as ESPN is concerned. No score. 11:39 left in the first quarter. We'll keep you up to date on that. That ball. A strike to even the count at 2-2. 2-2 with 2 outs. Dylan Keel on third base. Low and outside. Full count now. The pitch. Line shot just wide of that third base line. So the count will stay full for Charlie Harming. Good wood on that, but just wide of the foul line. Wookie fires. That'll be a ground ball. Third base, fielded, tossed across, and that'll do it for the first inning. A nice play by Parker Winghart, and that'll be 3 outs for the Snappers, and that is the end of the top of the first for those Snappers. 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 run, 1 left on, no errors there. And that'll do it for the Snappers in the top of the first. That'll bring the Cubs to the plate. One sponsor we get to thank for the Cubs coming up. Bell Brands, my employer and proud sponsor. Everything I'm doing on Saul's Media here. They are proud sponsors of Sioux Valley Athletics, proud sponsors of my second high school that I followed, the Elkton Lake Benton Elks. Bell Brands, makers of the Mini Baby Bells, the snack cheese of champions. Peel 1 today. Thank you, Bell Brands, for being a sponsor of everything we do here on Saul's Media. And now getting the Brookings Cubs on the list for Bell Brands. More than happy to do that as well. Pitching for the Snappers. That is Aiden Stewart, number 16, on the mound out there. Cubs starting lineup. We went through that, but it'll be Henry Hamrich, Isaac Bonner, and Colin Gibson, the 1-2-3 hitters for the Cubs to start this bottom of the first. Beautiful night here at Bob Sheldon Field. You can see on the video there, we do have some sponsors up in the top left corner, adding to all the fun we do on Saul's Media here. But the city of Brookings put a lot of money into renovating Bob Sheldon Field, make it a little bit more modern, add some field turf out here. It's really worked out well. Just a beautiful ballpark. And they're fresh off of hosting the Class B high school baseball state tournament. That ending, I believe, yesterday, maybe this afternoon. I'll talk to AJ about that and get an answer on that. But Sioux Valley, a participant. They played Monday morning at, I believe, 11 a.m. and ended up losing to the Del Rapids Couriers. So that ended the Sioux Valley Cossacks baseball season. For those, and I am going to brag them up. It's been an incredible year for the student athletes of Sioux Valley High School. If you played on a girls' team for the Cossacks this year, you went to a state tournament. It started with cross country. The volleyball team goes to state. Basketball team did a great job out in Spearfish as they took home a consolation championship in the girls' basketball tournament. Now here in the springtime, the girls' golf team will play in a state tournament on Monday and Tuesday down at Madison Country Club. That ball fall off, hitting the top of the grandstand here. So 1-1 to Hammerich. Sioux Valley has numerous members that are going down to that state track meet down in Sioux Falls at Howard Wood. That starts up tomorrow, and the Sioux Valley softball team now adding their name to another state tournament participant as the softball team wins their Sodex 16 and come from behind fashion as they walked it off against the Lenox Orioles last night. Just an impressive display by the Sioux Valley Cossacks. There's only one team for the Cossacks that did not go to a state tournament this year, and that was a boys basketball team that went to a regional final. They ended up losing that to Hamlin at Hamlin. Hamlin ends up their season as state runner-up to Sioux Falls Christian. Just showing you what that boys basketball team had to deal with. It's been a fun year with the Sioux Valley Cossacks. I'm more than happy. That is a strikeout looking. Oh, boy. Henry was about ready to walk down to first base. Instead, he will be the first out of the game for the Cubs. Strikeout looking, and that'll bring up number 25, Isaac Bonner, the shortstop for the Cubs. The left-hander. He'll step in against Aiden Stewart, pitcher for the Snappers. Bonner will swing through strike one there. Bonner last time out. Double, home run, and double. He was 3 for 5 on the night, scored one, but a big home run to right center field, showing his power past that 370 sign in straight center. 1-1 now to Bonner. He'll be outside, 2-1. Stewart will fire it. That'll be fouled straight back over the grandstand. 2-2 now. Swung on and missed. Harming holds on to it, so that'll be back-to-back strikeouts to start the game for Aiden Stewart. Strikeout looking, strikeout swinging. And that'll bring the third hitter in the lineup to the plate for the Cubs, number 31, Colin Gibson, second baseman tonight. On my laptop to my left, I do have the sketchy website open that allows me to basically steal NBA games. Shouldn't be saying that live on air, but it's the only way I can watch things on ESPN. I stream everything, so the only way you can watch things on ESPN Plus is to have a TV provider, and I do not have that. Swung through 0-2 now. So I do have a sketchy website open. It's early in the first quarter. They're at some sort of commercial break, but when this broadcast lets the TV goes to commercial, they just do whatever's going on in the arena. So you get to see the kiss cam. You get to see the mascot screwing around all night long. Ooh, just inside on that 1-2. You can hear the fans below me. Another decent crowd here for a Wednesday night here in Bob Sheldon Field. Little League fields to our southwest. Busy once again, and that appeal is no good. 2-2 now. Check swing, but not enough. Evens the count at 2. Colin Gibson, the second baseman for the Cubs. At 31 on my roster, but he's wearing number 32, so I'm going to change that. And that's another swing and a miss. 3 strikeouts for Aiden Stewart to start his night for the Elkton Snappers, and that'll do it for the first inning. No hits, no runs, no errors. We move to the top of the second.
2 up for Elkton in the second. Billy Stupin, Elliot Erickson, and Brandon Stupin.
As we move to the second inning, we are going to thank the Man Cave Barbershop, a fantastic barbershop right here in Brookings, right here on South Padari. They're right across the street from Bob Sheldon Field. In fact, Alicia and friends, they can take care of it. They tout themselves as the unofficial SDSU football team haircutters. Alicia, just a good friend of mine and a great business owner, and just a fantastic barbershop here in Brookings. She is a proud sponsor of everything we do here on Saul's Media. She's a friend of Sioux Valley Athletics as well, and now she's going to be helping out with the Brookings Cubs all summer long. Thank you to the Man Cave Barbershop, a fantastic sponsor of Saul's Media broadcasts. And we will move through to the top of the second inning. Coming up for the Elkton Snappers, the 6, 7, 8 hitters, this will be number 20, Billy Stupin, the right fielder, coming to the plate. Beautiful night here at the ballpark. Not a lot of wind tonight either. You know, whatever rainstorms and showers and whatever else is coming through today. It's a light breeze. There is a flag that is kind of blowing out to right field, I guess. If I'm judging that correctly, it might be coming across the outfield from the left foul pole to the right foul pole. Kind of a crosswind across the stadium here. But a beautiful night. Come out and support the Cubs if you can. If you can't, you can watch it right here on Saul's Media. My plan is to be with them as much as I can, as much as my schedule will allow this summer. There's a tournament that's in Minnesota. I think that's a work weekend for me with Bell Brand, so I don't get to go to that. But other than that, that schedule looked very favorable as far as me being able to get to just about everything. Even some of those road games happen on, you know, what I call school nights. But Brandon being less than an hour away, right down the interstate, a little bit of a jaunt on I-90, that's only an hour. And games start at 7:30. I get done working at 6. You can just get on the road, man. So I'll try to get to everything that I can. That'll be a walk to Billy Stupin. So coming up now, the pole vaulter, number 11, Elliot Erickson, playing left field for the Snappers tonight. 1 on, nobody out here in the top of the second. He's showing bunt, and we'll get it down. Wookie's going to field that in front of the mound, throw to first. So a good job advancing the runner by Aiden Erickson. Billy Stupin rolls down to second. Be a 1-3 put out, but it advances to Billy to second. Now coming to plate number 30, Brandon Stupin, the 8th hitter in the lineup. He is the first baseman for the Snappers. A couple of brothers out there, one at second base, one at the plate. He'll swing through strike one. Wookie fires. That is fouled back. 0-2 now to Stupin. That is popped up In the infield, first baseman calling for it. That is Arlen Peters, who will bring that in. So it'll be 2 outs now for the Snappers. Just a pop up to first for the second out. Ninth hitter in lineup, number 1, Logan Keel, the shortstop for the Elkton Snappers. He will step in now with 2 outs. Low ball 1. Some more fans filtering in into the grandstands in front of the press box here. Good to see. Cubs do have a pretty good following. AJ, the PA announcer to my right, also the Cubs general manager, very excited about this roster that the Cubs have put together this season. Head coach Rhett Zielinski is very happy with how they filled out their roster this year. And it shows so far with a 3-0 start. Bookie now will fire with a 1-2 count to Keel. Just outside on that, 2-2. Tapped. Left side, tough play. It'll be in time at first base. Keel stumbles over first base. Walking off a twisted ankle there. Logan is jogging gingerly back to the Snappers dugout, but a nice play. Parker Winghart handles the tough roller, fires over to first. And that'll do it for the Snappers. As is a 5-3 put out. That'll be it for the top of the second. We move to the bottom of the second. For the Cubs, after the 1-2-3 hitters all struck out in the first inning, the cleanup hitter coming to the plate, Rhett Zielinski, the coach of the Brookings Cubs. Number 44. He is in right field tonight. I'm looking over at my laptop as I have the Timberwolves on the brink of being tossed out of the NBA playoffs. Down 19-7 with 3 minutes left in the first quarter. And just missing a transition layup right there. Oh, boy. You know, these Oklahoma City Thunder, they have 68 wins through their regular season. What is that, like top 5 wins ever in a single season with 68? You know, I remember the Warriors, maybe a decade ago with Steph Curry getting to, 70 wins in a season. I remember the Bulls fame in the early 90s. I think it was the second time through their three-peat where they got to 72 wins in a season. That was Jordan and Pippen and Rodman and Tony Kukoc on that team. Steve Kerr on that team. So the Thunder put 68 wins together this season. The Timberwolves were going to have to play, A games. You can't bring a C game and still end up beating the Lakers in a Game 5. That Game 5 clincher, they missed, 43 pointers in that game, like 10 of 50, whatever it was. And then through that Warriors series, with a Steph Curry injured and not being able to go, they didn't have to play perfect there either and still get wins. But against this Thunder team, you have to play near perfect. And the Timberwolves looked great in Game 3. Game 4 at the Target Center, they won just about every category in that game and still lost by 2 because of the high turnover mark that they put on. T-Wolves just not playing perfect. Ant has not been the superstar that we need him to be in this series. So as they are in Oklahoma City tonight, this could do it for the Timberwolves as they're down in the first inning, or first quarter, I guess I should say. There's a strike on the inside corner. Zielinski now ahead in the count, 2-1. Aiden Stewart still firing on the mound for the Snappers. Curveball there. That'll be strike 2. Good pitch by Stewart. Does have 3 strikeouts so far tonight. Zielinski trying to get the first hit for the Cubs. And he'll swing through that. 4 straight strikeouts to start the night for Stewart. That'll bring up the 5-hitter lineup for the Cubs. Parker Winghart, third baseman. Number 14, fresh off of a great play at third base. A slow roller that he picked up and fired over to first, and it beat Logan Keel to the bag. Winghart ahead in the count, 1-0. That'll be a strike. Outside corner, 1-1 now. Outside on that offering, 2-1. Winghart out of Martin Luther College in New Ulm, Minnesota. Parker's last time out. 1 for 5 on his evening with a single and a fielder's choice. A couple of ground outs as well. Now ahead in the count, 3-1. Curveball misses low and outside, and that'll be a walk for Winghart. So with 1 hit and 1 on, the first runner for the Cubs on first base, it'll be the 6th hitter in the lineup, number 7, Miles Reese, left fielder. Cubs trying to get something going here in the bottom of the second. Ball 1 to Reese. 22-7, 23 as SGA just made a free throw. Timberwolves in a hole in the first quarter against the Thunder. And a common theme in that series. Two 2-0 now to Reese. Winghart on first base. There is a pop-up right side, drifting foul, and will get out of play. 2-1 now to Reese. Miles Reese comes to us from the University of Sioux Falls. Outside on that, 3-1. That'll be outside, so another walk. Cubs will get 2 runners on now with 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Winghart moves up to second. Reese reaches on a base on balls, and that'll bring up the DH, number 22, Lincoln Vasgard. Lincoln hitting with 2 runners on. Timeout by the Snappers as Harming and Stewart will discuss what they want to do on their signage. Looks like they got everything figured out. Umpires didn't have to bust it up. So, back at it. Cubs with their first threat of the night. 2 runners on with 1 out. Vasgard will step into the box. That'll be a strike in the outside corner. 0-1 now. Right down the middle, 0-2. Good pitch by Stewart. Good fastball. Vasgard behind in the count here. 2 men on, though. He will will swing and miss on that. Another strikeout for Stewart. 2 outs now here in the bottom of the second. For Stewart, that's his 5th strikeout of the night, and that'll bring the 8th hitter in the lineup. Number 15, Arlen Peters. As I said that in unison with AJ, our PA announcer. Arlen Peters, the first baseman, fresh off of an SDSU season. He was just the starting pitcher last Friday, is what AJ told me. Swings through that with a check swing. 0-1 now to Arlen Peters, the first baseman tonight. 2 men on, 2 outs here for the Cubs. Gonna be outside, 1-1 now. First game out, it was a win. Well, not first game, but first game I did. How's that? It was a good win over the Brandon Belugas. That was a week ago, last Wednesday. That'll be low and outside, 2-1 now. That is a shot straight up to center field for the Snappers. It'll be caught out in center field. That is Brady Steen that'll rein that in. And an F8 will end the threat here in the second inning. For the Cubs, no hits, 2 walks, 2 left on. Peters now with 5 strikeouts on his night for the Snapper starting pitcher. Top of the third inning coming up. Top of the order coming up for the Snappers. As we move to the third inning, we want to thank another sponsor, Jimmy John's, the freaky fast sub shop right on 6th Street here in Brookings. I know the manager there, Aaron Clark. Aaron, a fantastic friend of mine and a great manager at Jimmy John's, by the way. Doing a great business there. Jimmy John's sponsoring Sioux Valley Athletics as well. She has been nice enough to be the gift certificate sponsor for Sioux Valley Athletics during this softball season. So we'll take 3 more of those up with us to Aberdeen for the state tournament next weekend. The Minnesota Timberwolves are through the first quarter, and it is a big lead for the Thunder. T-Wolves down 3-1 in the series. Keep this up, they're going to get closed out. But Jimmy John's, sorry, I lost track of my thought there as I was looking at the laptop. Jimmy John's, a fantastic sponsor of Sioux Valley Athletics. We're taking gift certificates up to Aberdeen with us as 3 more games before the Sioux Valley softball season is over. They're one of the 8 teams remaining in Class A, but it's Jimmy John's that'll allow the player of the game to get a $10 gift certificate. We'll take those with us. Thank you, Aaron Clark. Thank you, Jimmy John's, right here in Brookings. A fantastic sponsor of Sioux Valley Athletics. Now being a part of the Brookings Cubs as well. We'll see what we can do for these Cubs. Tomorrow's going to be a big day. Sponsor day, as I'm calling it. Trying to get some businesses to jump on board here. You can see businesses out on the left field fence, left center fence. You can see a lot of sponsors there, but just trying to add some to the broadcast here and put it right on YouTube. You can see the top left corner of our screen. That is how a sponsor can be represented on the Sauls Media broadcast. And then blurted out through the innings here. So keep doing what we're doing and get some sponsors to advertise on this. A pitch low, 1-1 now. This is the leadoff hitter for the Snappers. Number 4, the center fielder, Brady Steen, as the 1-2-3 hitter is coming to the plate. That pitch outside, 2-1 now. Tucker Wookie, the pitcher for the Cubs tonight, the SDSU men's basketball assistant coach, newly named. Going to be a strike in the outside corner, 2-2 now. Fouled off as that hit Stufan in the box. Count will stay at 2-2. Top of the third. So 1-0 lead for the Snappers as they got one across in the first inning. One hit for the Snappers so far tonight. The Cubs go through 2 innings. No hits for them. That pitch will fill the count. 3-2 now. It's Brady Stufan, his last name. Okay, it's not Steen. All right. But that'll be a ground out. The 4-3 put out to start the top of the third. One out now for the Snappers. That'll bring up the second hitter lineup, Dylan Keel. Number 3, he is the second baseman for Elkton. Wilkie will fire. Strike down the middle. Gets ahead 0-1 in the count here. (26-9) at the end of the first quarter. T-ball's already a big deficit. 1-1 now to Dylan Keel. Wilkie fires. That'll be smacked into left field. A good base hit by Dylan Keel. Snappers get their second hit of the night.
Third baseman number 0, Aiden.
And that will bring third hitter in lineup for the Snappers, number 0, Aiden Erickson, the third baseman for Elkton. Dylan Keel now on first. He'll work on his stretch. There's a ground ball booted by the shortstop. That'll be an E6. Possible double play there, but both runners safe now at first and second. It was Isaac Bonner. Just went off his glove.
The pitcher, Aiden Stewart.
Pitcher now for Snappers, Aiden Stewart, the cleanup hitter, number 16. Be a strike on the outside corner. 2 men on for the Snappers. Swings through that, 0-2 now. That'll be outside. 1-2 now. Hit to right center field. That'll be caught by Hammerich. He's going to throw to third. Dylan Keel out at third base. Double play for the Cubs. Great relay by Hammerich. And a great double play to get out of the top of the third. What a throw. That'll end the threat. So for Aiden Stewart, that is an F8. And that'll be 8-5 on the putout. For 3 outs, that ends the threat. We move to the bottom of the third. The Cubs coming to bat. The 9th hitter in the lineup, Zach Struck. The catcher, he will be up first. The extra hitter coming up after that, Nolan Miles. And then we go to the top of the order for the Brookings Cubs. Thunder still dominating the Minnesota Timberwolves. 30-14 now with 10 minutes left in the second quarter. Might have to switch to some WNBA talk. The Minnesota Lynx, the most successful franchise in Minnesota history. 4 titles hanging from the Target Center ceiling. Those banners should be 5, as it was a screw job in New York City just last season. as the Lynx took the New York Liberty to 5 games, and boy, just some tough calls on those Minnesota Lynx, and they lose the WNBA title to the New York Liberty. So Sabrina Ionescu gets a title, Brianna Stewart gets a title, like she needs more from her UConn Husky fame. But the New York Liberty, the reigning champions of the WNBA, Minnesota Lynx, they brought all 5 starters back, and they are 4-0 to start their season. Maybe it's 5-0 now. They may have won again last night. But if you want to be a fan of Minnesota sports and have some success, you better start following the ladies, because the PWHL, the Minnesota Frost, the Professional Women's Hockey League, Minnesota Frost go back-to-back in the first 2 titles for the PWHL, as they lost the first game to Ottawa and then won out from there. Seemed like all the games were in overtime. But women's hockey, also huge in Minnesota, and the Frost, back-to-back titles to start their careers, their franchise. Coming up for the Brookings Cubs, here to start the bottom of the third, Zach Struck, the catcher tonight. Strucky will step into the batter's box. Aiden Stewart on the mound. 5 strikeouts for Aiden Stewart, the pitcher for the Snappers. And he will start 0-1 against Strucky. Just a beautiful night for baseball here at Bob Sheldon Field. That ball low, 1-1 now. Trying something different on the scoreboard look. Just move some things around, make it a little easier to see what's going on at home plate there. Strucky now ahead in the count, 3-1. Cubs down 1-0. Still looking for their first hit tonight. That'll be inside. Strucky's going to draw a walk to start the bottom of the third. So that'll bring the extra hitter to the plate. This is number 99, Nolan Miles. Running for Strucky, number 8, Justin Koffel. Pinch running for Zach Struck. Nolan Miles, the 10th hitter in the lineup for the Cubs tonight. He's going to foul off the first offering, 0-1 to Miles. Inside. 1-1 now to Nolan Miles. Inside again, 2-1 now. Koffel might be looking to steal here. Fouled off, straight back. 2-2 now. Kind of a check swing foul ball there. Just got a piece of it. Aiden Stewart on the mound for the Snappers. He looks in, gets his sign, working out of the stretch now. Inside on that. Good stop by Harming, preventing the runner from racing down to second. Full count now to Nolan Miles, number 99. My high school football number, number 99. Props, my man. Stewart fires, fouled off. Count will stay at 3-2. Once as we get through Nolan Miles here. The top of the order coming up for the Cubs. Henry Hamrich, top of the order. Swung on, fouled off as it's drifting over the Cubs dugout. The count will stay full. Good battle for Nolan Miles against Aiden Stewart. And that'll be ball 4. So back-to-back walks to start the bottom of the third. Strucky moves up to second. Nolan Miles on first. Top of the order coming up, and we've got 2 men on with nobody out. Cubs, another opportunity here. Had 2 men on in the last inning. Couldn't quite bring him around. Henry Hamrich, number 0. He's our center fielder as well. That ball gets away from Harming. Slow to pick that up, and it's not Zach Struck. That's Justin Koffel. He will move to third, so runners on first and third now as the ball got just far enough away from Charlie Harming, the catcher for the Snappers. So first and third for the Cubs. Ball outside, 2-0 to Hamrich. Steal by Miles. He'll move up to second base. Ball 3 to Hamrich. So a 3-0 count and 2 runners in scoring position now. Koffel on third. Miles on second. And it's 3-0 to Hamrich. He will take a big swing at that. Lifted high into left field. Elliot Erickson moving in. He'll make the catch. And the throw home a little long, but Stewart's there to back it up. So 1 out now, as it was high enough, not far enough. Hamrich with the fly out. Then I'll have 1 out as Koffel and Miles stay at second and third. Coming to the plate now, number 25, the shortstop, Isaac Bonner, the left-hander. He had the monster home run in the last game a week ago. Opportunity here for Bonner. He will foul that straight back. 0-1 to Bonner. Curveball just misses. 1-1. Aiden Stewart with some good movement there. Just outside that outside corner. Bonner will swing at that. A slow roller to shortstop. He will beat it out. So an infield hit for Bonner. That brings Koffel to the plate, and the Cubs have tied it up at 1. Infield hit for Bonner. So first and third for the Cubs now as Nolan Miles moves over to third. Bonner with the infield single, and that'll bring up the third hitter in lineup, number 32, Colin Gibson, the second baseman. So we're tied at 1 now. Third hitter in lineup. He's still got an opportunity here. Runners on first and third. Look for Bonner to try to steal second at some point here. Strike 1 to Gibson. Strike 2. Good movement on that as again. He's Aiden Stewart up 0-2 on the third hitter in lineup, Colin Gibson. Swing through that. It was a foul tip but caught, and that'll be a strikeout for Stewart. 2 outs now. And that'll bring in the cleanup hitter for the Cubs, the right fielder, number 44, Rhett Zielinski, the coach of the Brookings Cubs as well. He will dig in with 2 runners on, 2 outs here, but a tie game now. He will look at strike 1. Swung on just wide, though. That'll go out of play past the first base fence out there. 0-2 to Zielinski. Fouled straight back into the netting. Count will stay at 0-2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. 2 men on for the Cubs. Justin Koffel came across on an infield hit by Isaac Bonner. That'll be behind Zielinski. Yeesh. Look out. 1-2 to Rhett. Stewie, as some of the Elkton fans in front of me are calling Aiden Stewart. Kind of smiling at that last pitch. That ball gets away from Harming. That'll allow Bonner to jet on down to second. A 2-2 count now to Rhett Zielinski with 2 runners in scoring position now with 2 outs. Stewie's going to throw that ball away. Get a new one. Nolan Miles on third. Isaac Bonner on second. Rhett Zielinski at the plate. A 2-2 count with 2 outs. He will take a swing at that. That'll go over the grandstand. 2-2 will stay as the count. Cubs get their first hit of the evening, and it's Isaac Bonner with an infield single. Slow roller to shortstop, and he beat out the throw. Zielinski now. We'll watch that. A full count. Full count with 2 outs. Runners will be on the move. Ooh, it's a strike on the outside corner. Rhett Zielinski will watch that. Tough call there. But that'll end the threat here in the third inning. 2 more strikeouts for Stewie as his list gets to 7 strikeouts on the night. For the Cubs, they get 1 hit, 2 walks. They score 1. 2 more strikeouts for Stewie. And we move to the top of the 4th. But the Cubs tied up. Justin Koffel comes across on the infield single by Isaac Bonner. Bonner gets the RBI. As we move to the top of the 4th, we're going to thank CC's Bar and Grill, a fantastic bar and grill in downtown Volga. Proud sponsors of Sioux Valley Athletics. Everything we do here on Saul's Media. I'll try to get him to be a part of the Cubs here as well. Amazing Chislick, burgers, chicken, and more. Good friends, good food, good times. CC's Bar and Grill, downtown Volga. They do have the event space as well, so if you have some sort of party that you want to have hosted, a wedding party, a graduation, retirement, a birthday, anything you need, party style, they do have the banquet area on the back side of CC's Bar and Grill in downtown Volga. A proud sponsor of everything we do here on Saul's Media. More than happy to be a part of the Sioux Valley Athletics season. Already bragged them up tonight enough probably for this audience, but plenty of state tournament participants coming out of Sioux Valley this season. If you played sports on the girls' side at Sioux Valley this season, your team went to a state tournament. That is absolutely amazing to me that all of them ended seasons at a state tournament. Just incredible. There is a big shot. That's going to land just inside the left field line. This is Charlie Harming trying to get to second base, and he'll beat the throw. A leadoff double for Charlie Harming for the Snappers to start the 4th inning. First pitch by Wookie. Good line drive. Landed right inside that foul line. Charlie Harming with a leadoff double. That'll bring number 20, Billy Stupin, the right fielder for the Snappers, to the plate. With a runner in scoring position and nobody out here as we're just getting going here in the top of the fourth. There is a bouncer. Shortstop. I'll throw that over. That's Isaac Bonner on the play. But it does advance. Charlie Harming down to third. The 6-3 putout will bring one out for the Snappers. But now a runner on third base for the Snappers with the pole vaulter coming to the plate. This is number 11, Elliot Erickson, the left fielder for the Snappers. Isaac Bonner there. Nice play. Bouncer to short. Picks it up right in front of second base. Fires over. Erickson's going to check swing through that. Goes too far, and that'll be strike one to the pole vaulter slash hurdler slash relay participant, as he's also on the 4x200 relay team for the Elkton Lake Benton. They'll start up tomorrow morning at Howard Wood Field at the state track meet down in Sioux Falls. Wookie fires with a 1-1 count. Inside. Bouncer in front of the plate. Good stop by Strucky. It'll be 2-1 to Erickson. Snappers now with 3 hits on their night. 1 run. Cubs have the 1 hit and 1 run. Bonner with the infield single. That pitch outside. 3-1 now to Erickson. Wookie gets his sign. We'll fire it. And Erickson's going to have a line drive to center field. That is going to be caught by Hamrich. Not far enough out to bring in Harming from third. So 2 outs now for the Snappers. Charlie Harming sitting on third base. That'll bring up the 8th hitter in the lineup for the Snappers, number 30, Brandon Stupin, the first baseman tonight. 2 outs now for the Snappers. Wookie will fire that inside. Gets away from Strucky, but not far enough for Harming to try to get in. 1-0 to Stupin. Wookie will fire. That is popped up in the infield, and that is going to be Colin Gibson that'll move over to that. Wookie gets out of the jam with the leadoff double, getting stranded at third base. Top of the fourth over. 1 hit, 1 left on. No runs come across for the Snappers, and we move to the bottom of the fourth with a tie game. 1 apiece. Cubs coming to bat. And it'll be the 5th hitter in the lineup. This is Parker Winghart coming to the plate, number 14. He's the third baseman as well. As we move to the bottom of the fourth, we're going to thank another sponsor here, a good friend of mine, GP Auto, taking care of all your car repair needs, oil changes, engine repair, tire replacement. Grant and Friends will get you back on the road. Located on the east side of Brookings by Dektronics. Call and schedule your car appointment today. Thank you, Grant Peterson, a good friend of mine. Proud sponsor of everything we're doing here on Saul's Media. And now we'll make him part of the Cubs as well. He's been a great sponsor of Sioux Valley Athletics. More than happy to be a part of every broadcast that we've been doing. GP Auto, a fantastic car repair shop. And Grant's a good friend of mine. The Timberwolves stinking it up in the second quarter as it is ballooned to a 55-27 lead for the Thunder. It is getting ridiculous in Oklahoma City as the T-Wolves are getting blown out and about to get tossed out of the NBA playoffs. The Timberwolves. Just sad, really. Such a good team. And I know the Thunder are good. Look, I get it. But all the talent that's on this Timberwolves squad I don't understand it, of how they can struggle with that type of lineup. They're shooting terribly tonight. Let me give you some box score numbers here. Oh, yikes. Let me do this. For the T-Wolves, Julius Randle, 3 of 7 tonight. He's got 8 points. Jaden McDaniels, 1 for his first 8. He's got 3 points. And the superstar, Anthony Edwards, he's 3 of 9 on his night. 0 for 4 from three-point land. He's got 9 points. And the Oklahoma City Thunder are running away with it. It is now a 30-point lead in the second quarter. T-Wolves going to get ousted from the NBA playoffs tonight and lose the series 4-1 to the Thunder. That is my call with 2:36 left in the first half. For the Cubs, Parker Winghart comes to the plate, number 14, third baseman. Ahead in the count, 2-0 against Stewie. Parker will do a line drive into right field. Base hit for the Brookings Cubs. Winghart gets to first. Good shot through the right side for Parker Winghart. And that'll bring up the 6th hitter in lineup, number 7, Miles Reese. He is our left fielder tonight. AJ backs me up on that, as you can hear the PA announcer as well. We're having some fun up here in the press box. I'm crabbing about the Timberwolves and keeping AJ up to date. We're going to find a new game to watch on ESPN, though, the website. Minnesota sports, man. My family has been Vikings fans for my entire life. Now, look, I am nearing my 50th birthday. My father is 81 years old. My mother's 80 years old. They've been long-time Vikings fans. The whole time that I have been alive, I've known them as Vikings fans. Here's a good steal by Winghart. Slides around second base, but able to hold on to beat the throw. And my remote app not helping me out there, so let me do that. 3-1 to Miles Reese now. But a runner in scoring position for the Cubs. I'll get into my Minnesota rant. That's lifted to right field. Hit well. And that'll get over the head of Brandon Stupid in right field. That drops. Reese will roll into second base, and Winghart's going to come around to score as that got over the head of Brandon Stupin. A double, an RBI double for Miles Reese. So a great steal by Parker Winghart gets him into scoring position. And Miles Reese brings him in. So the Cubs take a 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the fourth, with nobody out. I'll bring up number 22, Lincoln Vasgard, to the plate. He is the DH tonight for the Cubs. Still a runner in scoring position as Miles Reese is hanging out on second base. 2-1 now, a lead for the Cubs. It'll be a 1-1 count to Lincoln Vasgard. Swing and a miss there, 1-2 now. Big cut by Vasgard. Swung on, fouled. Over the Cubs dugout. Count will stay at 1-2. It will be just high, 2-2 now. Get you some other scores nationally here as we roll through the in-between innings here. Indiana Fever in action tonight, but Caden Clark is out. Sounds like for 2 weeks with a quad strain, I believe is what I read. The ticket sales, the Chicago Sky put something on Twitter that the Ticket sales went down 71% as soon as they found out Caitlin Clark was not coming to town. That is going to be lifted into center field, blooping, and it will drop in front of the center fielder. Good dive at it, but just could not come up with it. Center fielder is Brady Stufen. He dove for it straight in front of him, but it's going to be a bloop hit that'll move Reese over to third. A single for Vasgard. So now with nobody out, runners on first and third, and Arlen Peters coming to the plate, the first baseman. He's number 15, fresh off of an SDSU Jackrabbit baseball season. Arlen Peters now hitting with nobody out and 2 men on. Cubs have started the bottom of the fourth with 3 straight hits. Scored a run to take a 2-1 lead here. That'll get past Harming. That is going to allow Miles Reese to come in. The throw gets past the pitcher. But Vasgard will stay at second base, so Miles Reese scores on the pass ball. Or wild pitch, if you want to call it that. So now just a runner on second as Vasgard's standing on second base. But 2 runs come across now for the Cubs, and Arlen Peters with a 1-1 count and still a runner in scoring position. Swings through that 1-2. Swung on, bouncer to third base. Aiden Erickson will field that and fire it over to first. Good play by Erickson. That will allow Vasgard to move over to third. So Vasgard on third base. It was a 5-3 putout for the first out for the Cubs here in the bottom of the fourth. And that'll bring up the catcher, number 20, Zach Struck, the 9th hitter in the lineup, with Vasgard standing on third base now. Strike one on the outside corner. 3-1 a lead for the Cubs now. 2 have come across here in the bottom of the fourth. Inside on that pitch, 1-1 now. Strucky with a walk in the third inning. He scored on that as well, eventually. He will foul that off down the first base line into the fans as it took a tough hop over the wall over there. A couple of Cubs fans jumping out of the way of that. Hard bouncer that cleared the fence over there on the first base line. 1-2 now to Strucky. Swing at that. Tapper to second base. Dylan Keel will field that, throw it over to first, but another run is going to come across. Lincoln Vasgard scores on the 4-3 putout. So 1 more run coming across for the Brookings Cubs. 2 outs now. Nobody on for the 10th hitter in the lineup. This is number 99, Nolan Miles, the extra hitter for the Cubs tonight. It's a 4-1 lead now for the Cubs. Big inning. That is going to be tapped foul down the third base line. 0-1 now to Nolan Miles. I'm just looking at ESPN over there. The T-Wolves are down 65-32 at halftime. The Indiana Fever lose without Kaylin Clark in the lineup as the Washington Mystics beat them 83-77 tonight. And that is a strikeout on the outside corner looking. And that'll end it here in the bottom of the fourth. But the Cubs do the damage. 3 runs come across. Cubs get 3 hits, 3 runs, no errors there, and another strikeout for Aiden Stewart on the mound for the Snappers. That is his 8th strikeout of the night. So as we move to the top of the 5th, Coming up for the Snappers, it is the 9th hitter in their lineup, Logan Keel, and then the top of the order, Brady Stufen and Dylan Keel coming to the plate after that. But it's a 4-1 lead as the Cubs bring 3 across in the 4th. The Twins also lost today. That was the 3rd game of the series against the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays playing at George Steinbrenner Park, the minor league park for the Yankees down in Florida, after a hurricane destroyed Tropicana Field. So the Rays get the 5-0 win over the Twins. Twins have the day off tomorrow. They will go out to Seattle for their weekend series. The Twins now, let me do standings in the MLB. Twins lose 2 out of 3 to the Rays. Now with a 30-25 record in the AL Central, 6 games back of the Detroit Tigers. That 30-25 record gets them a tie for second with the Cleveland Guardians. Twins are 5-5 in their last 10 games. That's fresh off of a 13-game win streak to begin the month of May, kind of end the month of April at the same time. With the Tigers now 37-20 on their season. That is the best record in baseball by what looks like 2.5 games over the records of the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Cubs also 34-21 this year. And the Yankees 34-20. So the Detroit Tigers, best record in baseball. They are riding high on their star starting pitcher, who is the Cy Young candidate at the moment. One and one now to Logan Keel for the Detroit Tigers. So we can get into this in between innings as well. I think it's Skubal. There we go. I believe it's Tarek Skubal, their star pitcher, putting Cy Young numbers together so far for the young season for the Detroit Tigers, but one of the reasons that they have the best record in baseball. That is a strikeout for Wookie on the outside corner. Logan Keel goes down looking. So 1 out now here in the top of the 5th. That'll bring the top of the order for the Snappers up. Brady Stufen, the center fielder, the left-hander. Strike on the outside corner. 0-1. We'll get into some ESPN things in between innings, as I don't want to be distracted too much by that. As we're here in the top of the 5th, there is a grounder to the right side, fielded and thrown to first. Colin Gibson on the throw, as it's a 4-3 putout. So nice play by Gibson. 2 outs now for the Snappers here in the top of the 5th. Going to the plate, the second baseman for the Snappers, number 3, Dylan Keel. This is 2-hitter in the lineup for the Snappers. That'll be low and outside. 1-0 to Keel. Lifted high into center field. And it'll be Hamrich that calls off Gibson, and he will make the catch to end the 5th inning for the Snappers. And we move to the bottom of the 5th. No hits, no runs, no errors. It'll stay 4-1 as the Cubs will come to the plate in the bottom of the 5th. Four to 1 lead for the Cubs. We're going to thank another sponsor here, Health Source Chiropractic, sponsors of the Health Source Halftime Show through the Sioux Valley season. Experience top quality care at Health Source Chiropractic on 22nd Avenue in Brookings, across from the Water Tower, to find lasting pain relief. Justin and Luke will take great care of you. Call them today to set up your appointment. Are you out of whack? Do you need an adjustment? Let Health Source Chiropractic take care of you and get you back to feeling normal. Thank you to Health Source Chiropractic, sponsors of the Health Source Halftime Show through the basketball season with Sioux Valley. Had a lot of fun conversations there, including one with the Augustana women's basketball coach who just happened to be sitting next to our broadcast at the Class A girls basketball tournament out in Spearfish. He sat down next to the broadcast, so we had a conversation with him off air during the first half and then put him on the mic for the halftime show. He was a lot of fun. Just part of the fun that we're having with Saul's Media. My partner in crime through that basketball season, Mr. Bill Vincent, he'll be with me through volleyball in the fall, through football with Sioux Valley Athletics in the fall. Going to be a lot of fun to be back on the football field. With Elkton Lake Benton, my second school that is part of the Saul's Media broadcasts, I started with football, took them all the way to the 9AA semifinal up in Hamlin. The Hamlin Chargers ended up with a victory at home that night. And then Alan Rydell, a good friend of mine, an old softball teammate of mine, took over for the Elkton Lake Benton Elks as we brought him on as the second school on Saul's Media. Alan Rydell with his son Steven. They had a good time going through the basketball season with the Elks, and he has signed on to do that again. So he'll be the voice of the Elkton Lake Benton Elks through the football season, through basketball. Going to be a lot of fun. Tapper, left side. That is going to be off the foot. This is the leadoff hitter for the Cubs, Henry Hamrich, number 0. He is the center fielder. That goes off of his foot, so it'll be a foul ball. 1-1 on the count now. Strike there, 1-2 to Hamrich. I believe we have a substitution for the Snappers as we have a new right fielder out there. That ball gets past Harming. 2-2 now. It says 1-2 on the scoreboard. We might have to go with that. I may have missed one. There's a strikeout on the outside corner. Not going to matter now, as Henry Hamrich launches strike 3 go across. 1 out for the Cubs now. That'll bring the 2-hitter lineup. The shortstop, number 25, Isaac Bonner, the left-hander. Bonner with a single and a strikeout so far tonight. That's going to be popped straight up. Harming rolling over towards the Snapper dugout. He'll reach back and make a nice play. Caught in foul territory. Second out for the Cubs. And that'll bring the third hitter in the lineup, the second baseman, number 32, Colin Gibson, to the plate. Now stepping into the box with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. A 4-1 lead for the Cubs. Stewie will start ahead of the Cubs here. Colin Gibson, 0-1 now. Strikeout of Hamrich was the 9th strikeout for Stewie. There is a line drive right center field that is going to drop in the gap. And Gibson safely on with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Gibson with his first hit of the night. He had 2 strikeouts coming into that at bat, so now 1 for 3 on his night with a single, and that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, the coach, the right fielder tonight, number 44, Rhett Zielinski. 2 strikeouts on his night so far tonight. Gibson on first. That gets away from Harming. It's going to roll the backstop. Gibson will roll down to second base on the pass ball. And a 1-0 count for Zielinski. Out there? Okay. One and one now to Zielinski. I'm told that the right fielder now is Corey Hannenberg. Fouled off. 1-2 to Zielinski. 2 outs here. Bottom of the 5th inning. It's a 4-1 lead for the Cubs. That'll be outside. Gets away from Harming just enough. And Gibson's going to race down to third. 2-2 count now for Zielinski. Sent to third base. Aiden Erickson fields that, fires over to first, and that'll end the threat here in the 5th inning. We reset some things here. Move to the top of the 6th. For the Cubs, 1 hit, 1 left. No errors, and Aiden Stewart got strikeout number 9. As we move to the top of the 6th, but it's a 4-1 lead for the Brookings Cubs. Getting some text through here. Tried some new equipment at a coach's show today. It is a big lead by Oklahoma City. 65-32. They are at halftime. Twins lost 2 out of 3 to the Rays today. And the Fever, without Caitlin Clark, end up losing to the Washington Mystics. Mystics got 2 very good rookies. Mystics were not real great last year, but drafted a couple of rookies that are instant impact. Mike Vrabel is stressing decision-making amid the Stephen Diggs video that's going viral. He's been partying on a boat with his girlfriend, Cardi B, and several other people. Mike Vrabel, the new head coach of the New England Patriots, not real happy with the viral video that he saw. Reminds me of the Vikings, right? They had a fun time on a boat once.
2 for 20, right? 2 20.
Yeah, on right field there. Yeah. It is Corey Hannenberg, the right fielder now, for Billy Stufan, so I should probably write that down.
Top of the 6th inning, leading off for the Snappers, number 0, third baseman Aiden Erickson.
So to start the top of the 6th, the third hitter lineup for the Snapper, this is number 0, the third baseman with a nice put out to end the 5th inning. Aiden Erickson coming to the plate. He will get ahead in the count 1-0. Tucker Wookie still pitching for the Cubs. That is going to be Isaac Bonner with a nice fielding play at shortstop, and 1 out here in the top of the 6th. The 6-3 put out by Bonner. We'll bring up the cleanup hitter for the Snappers. This is number 16, Aiden Stewart, the starting pitcher. He's got 9 strikeouts on his night. At the plate, he's got ground out to first base, and then the double play ball as he popped it up to center field, and then they doubled off Dylan Keel at third. And he will start. I believe he's ahead in the count. 1-0 now. Good pitch there. Looking at the outside corner. 1-1 now. Inside on that offering. 2-1 now. Two and 1 to Aiden Stewart, the cleanup hitter for the Snappers. That'll be low. 3-1 now. Maybe a strike in the outside corner. Stewie thought he was walking. Umpire says nope. Full count. With 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Aiden Stewart, cleanup hitter for the Snappers. He will slap that into left field. Nice job of hitting there by Aiden Stewart. So a 1 out single. That'll bring the 5th hitter of the Snappers lineup to the plate with 1 out here in the top of the 6th. This is number 13, Charlie Harming, the catcher for the Snappers. Wookie now will work out of the stretch. Shows bunt, pulls it back, outside. Ball 1. Snappers trying to play a little small ball here. Bunt and move the runner around if successful. Shows bunt again, gets it down. Wookie's going to field that in front of a pitcher's mound. Throw to first, and that will move Aiden Stewart up to second base. So a successful bunt. But now 2 outs for the Snappers.
Batting with 2 outs, number 2, Corey Hannaford.
This will be the replacement out in right field. This is number 2, Corey Hennenberg. Placing Billy Stufen in the last inning out in the outfield. Now he'll get a shot at the plate. And the count 1-0. With Aiden Stewart sitting on second base. 2 outs for the Snappers here in the top of the 6th. 4-1 lead for the Cubs. Wookie fires outside on that offering, 2-0 to Hennenberg. T-Wolves still getting blown out as they are now into the 3rd quarter down in Oklahoma City. That is inside, gets away from Strucky. That will allow Aiden Stewart to move down to third base. 3-0 now to Hennenberg. So the Snappers have a man on third here with 2 outs. Top of the 6th inning. 3-0 count to Hennenberg. Strike 1 there. Good pitch by Wookie. Full count now. Good pitch there. Wookie fights it back to a full count. 3-2 with 2 outs. Top of the 6th. Hennenberg will call for time. Get that from the umpire. Now a step back in. Wookie fires. Low and outside. A walk by Hennenberg. So it'll be 1st and 3rd now with 2 outs.
Number 11, Elliot Erickson.
The pole vaulter coming to the plate. This is number 11, Elliot Erickson, the left fielder for the Snappers. 2 men on now. First threat in a couple innings now for the Snappers. Wookie will start 1-0 against Erickson. Slap to the right side. That is a single into right field. That'll bring another one in for the Snappers. 4-2 now on the RBI single by Erickson. Aiden Stewart comes in to score. Hannenberg down to second. Elliot Erickson with the single to right. And that'll bring up the 8th hitter in lineup. This is Brandon Stufen, number 30, the first baseman for the Snappers. Still 2 men on here with 2 outs. Swing and a miss on the first offering. 0-1 now to Stufen. Snappers make it a 4-2 ball game here in the top of the 6th. Outside on that, 1-1. Stufen follows that off of Strucky's mask. 1-2 now. For a catcher, that'll ring your bell. Foul ball off the helmet. Creates the ringing in your ears. As a catcher back in my teener ball days. That pitch gets away from Strucky. It's going to allow the runners to advance to 2nd and 3rd. 2-2 now to Brandon Stufen. Hannenberg on third, Erickson on second. So 2 runners in scoring position now with a 2-2 count and 2 outs here in the top of the 6th for Brandon Stufen. Brandon, a fly out to first base and a fly out to second base so far on his night, and he's going to watch ball 3 come across. So a 3-2 count now with 2 outs. Brandon with a couple of pop-ups so far tonight. Wookie trying to get out of this. And that'll be strike 3 looking. Great pitch by Wookie. And that'll end the threat here in the top of the 6th. But 1 run does come across for the Snappers. They make it a 4-2 game. They've got 2 runs on 5 hits, no errors. The Cubs, 4 runs on 5 hits, 1 error for the Cubs. In the 6th inning, it was 1 hit, 1 scored, 2 left on. And it was Brandon Stufen with out number 3 on the strikeout looking for the Cubs. The bottom of the 6th, it'll be number 5 hitter coming to the plate. This is number 14, Parker Winghart. We're going to thank another sponsor here. Shorty's Hot Box Food Truck. A fantastic food truck right here in Brookings. Big or small, Shorty's Hot Box can serve a group from our food truck, or they love attending festivals and fairs. Contact Kim for a customized quote. Amazing customer service with great food that serves super fast. Kim and Friends, a proud sponsor of everything we do here in Saul's Media, and she's got big news coming as they were accepting interviews, walk-in interviews. Kim's going to start something called Shorty's Burgers and Brews, and they're going to take over the vacated spot by Boss's Pizza out at the Econo Lodge on the east side of Brookings, right on I-29. She is very excited to get that going. When she has more information about the start date, I will certainly relay that to you. But Kim, very excited about Shorty's Burgers and Brews, her own pub and grill. She's excited about it. So they were trying to fill out their staff today with some walk-in interviews. Hopefully that worked well. I did not text her today, but Kim very excited about the future of Shorty's Hot Box and now their standalone restaurant. Kim's going to be a great sponsor of everything we do here on Saul's Media. And more than happy to be a part of Sioux Valley Athletics, but now we'll make her a friend of the Cubs as well. So that ball slapped to left field. That is going to be a fair ball down the left field line. Elliot Erickson slides in to get that, but it's going to be a leadoff double for Parker Winghart. Great shot down the line. Winghart now 2 for 2 on his night with a walk. He has scored once. Single and a double on his night. And that will bring Miles Reese to the plate. The left fielder, he is number 7. Winghart, great double to start the bottom of the 6th inning. Tapped foul. 0-1 to Miles Reese. Line drive out to left field, and Winghart's going to round third. The throw at the plate is not in time. Winghart slides underneath that tag, and it will be a single and an advance for Miles Reese, but it's an RBI single as Parker Winghart comes all the way around, and the Cubs add another. 5-2 now. Nice lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Miles Reese, a nice job at the plate. Sends a single out into left field, and that will bring the designated hitter, number 22, Lincoln Vasgard, to the plate. Still a runner in scoring position, but the Cubs make it 5-2, getting another run off of Aiden Stewart on the mound for the Snappers. And it'll be a 1-0 count to start the at-bat for Lincoln Vasgard. He's 1 for 2 on his night, a single, and he scored. Added a strikeout. Swings through that, 1-1. Part of the 9 strikeouts that Aiden Stewart has put together tonight. But it's a 5-2 lead for the Brookings Cubs. Outside on that offering, 2-1 now. That'll be a strike on the inside corner, 2-2. Good pitch by Stewart. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Actually, our pitcher now is Brady Steufen, as I've now seen the number. Sorry about that. So Aiden Stewart's pitching night is done. I'm not sure where he moved to. I missed the announcement by AJ on that. So Brady Steufen now pitching. Aiden Stewart now somewhere. He was the pitcher and DH, so that is going to be a big shot lifted into left center. Center fielder gets under it, loses it in the lights. Oh boy, the throw down to third, not in time. Lost it in the lights out there. So whoever is playing center field now, I'm not sure. That might be Aiden Stewart out there. We'll call that an error, I think. Well, I mean, he didn't even touch it, so it's got to be a hit. Good call, AJ. Miles Reese gets over to third. That was Arlen Peters. Call that a double, I guess, now. So the Cubs with runners on second and third, 1 out, bottom of the sixth. That is a strike to start the at-bat for Zach Struck, the catcher for the Cubs. Just misplayed out in center field out there, and I think that is Aiden Stewart out there. Maybe. Slapped foul into the Cubs dugout. Look out! Everybody seems okay. Lined right into the dugout. A lot of guys jumping out of the way of that. 1-1 now with 1 out. 2 men on for the Cubs. Strucky at the plate. Almost killed some of his teammates right there. And that'll hit him. Hit by pitch. That'll load him up. Strucky gets to first base the hard way. So now bases loaded. Miles Reese on third. Arlen Peters on second. Strucky now on first, and that'll bring up the extra hitter for the Cubs, number 99, Nolan Miles, to the plate with the bases loaded and 1 out. Brady Steufen now on the mound for the Snappers. Gave up a double and a single and a run and then struck out one. Now he's given up another double and hit a batter. That'll be slapped right up the middle. That's going to bring in 1 run. It's misplayed by Stewart in center field, and that'll allow a second run to come across. I'm seeing the number now. Yeah, that is Aiden Stewart out in center field. So they swap places. So that is another single. That makes it 7-2. And now runners on first and second with 1 out as that single brings in Miles Reese. Allows Arlen Peters to come around as well. And that'll move Zach Struck up to second. Nolan Miles with the single up the middle. Top of the order coming to the plate, Henry Hamrich, the center fielder for the Cubs, with a 7-2 lead now. And that's going to hit Hamrich to load him right back up. Struck to third. Miles to second. Hamrich hit by pitch. And that'll bring up the 2-hitter lineup. This is number 25, the shortstop, Isaac Bonner. Bases loaded and 1 out. Remember, Bonner had the monster home run to right center field in the last game out. Swings through strike 1. Cleared that 370 mark. Maybe it's 360, I guess, if you get to the right center area things. It's still the tall fence. That's where it landed. There'll be a hard line drive past the first baseman. There's a single into right, 1 run in. 2 runs in, as it'll be first and third now. The Cubs bring 2 more across on the single by Isaac Bonner. First and third now as Strucky comes in. Nolan Miles comes across. Hamrich over to third, and Bonner with the 2-run single. Third hitter in lineup coming to the plate with a 9-2 lead now. Colin Gibson. Number 32, he is our second baseman tonight, and he will hammer that ball foul. Look out. Down that left side. Just past the third base coach, who may have seen his life flash before him there. Everyone's okay. 0-1 to Gibson. Outside on that, 1-1 now. Cubs have brought 5 across here in the bottom of the 6th inning, making it a 9-2 lead. 2 men on with 1 out. Gibson with a 1-1 count. That'll be outside. Good stop by Harming. So Brady Steufen on his relief appearance. 5 hits. He's hit 2 batters. Allowed 5 runs to come across. That is picked up at short. The double play ball! Good play by the Snappers there. The 6-4-3 double play to end the threat. Good turn there. So they get Bonner at second base, the 6-4-3 turn. Good play by the Snappers there, but the Cubs do the damage. In the inning, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. 2 batters were hit by a pitch. 5 runs come across, but it's the double play to end it. As we move to the top of the 7th, and a big lead for the Cubs now. 9-2. We're going to thank another sponsor here, Tropical Smoothie Cafe and Park, right on 6th Street. They're right across the street from the Brookings Aquatic Center. Also right next to McDonald's there. The old Zesto's building. She has turned it into a fantastic Tropical Smoothie Cafe business. Thank you, Ann Park, for being a part of all these Sols Media broadcasts. She was nice enough to sponsor the Sioux Valley volleyball season and the basketball seasons, as she gave me a bunch of gift certificates for free smoothies to the players of the game through those 3 seasons. Ann Park, a fantastic sponsor of everything we're doing here on Sols Media. Now a sponsor of the Brookings Cubs as well. We'll see what kind of players of the game things we can do for the Cubs here. I'm not, with the high school kids, it's easier to do, but these are adults. These are young men out here. So I'm not sure what these guys would like for a player of the game. Maybe nothing. I have no idea. I'll see what I can talk some sort of advertiser to do. But Ann Park with Tropical Smoothie Cafe, a fantastic friend of mine, fantastic business owner, and a great sponsor of everything we do on Sols Media. Coming to the plate for the Snappers. They go to the top of the order. The 9th hitter in the lineup. That's Logan Keel with a pop-up to left field and brought in by Miles Reese, so that'll be out number 1. The F7. Sorry, I'm reading my lineup wrong. So 1 out now as the top of the order comes to the plate now. This is Brady Steufen, the left-hander. Had a tough relief appearance. He allowed 5 runs to come across. Hit 2 batters. It'd be 1-1 to Steufen. Strucky and Wookie going to have a conversation out there. Maybe a mix-up on some of the signs they've been doing. I'm not sure. Seems like they got each other straightened out a little bit. Strucky behind the plate again. Wookie will accept the sign and deliver. Too low on that. 2-1 now. A fun night here at the ballpark. That'll be fouled off of Strucky's mask once again, ringing the bell. Second time he's had one go off his mask. So a 2-2 count now for Brady Stufen, the new pitcher for the Snappers, the relief pitcher. Batting in the leadoff spot. Big curveball too high on that. 3-2 now. Been getting a couple of texts. I don't know if they're watching right now, but just want to let Landon Wiley now know. There'll be a swing and a miss by Stufen. Strikeout for Wookie for out number 2 here in the top of the 7th. So that'll bring the 2-hitter for the Snappers to the plate. This is number 3, Dylan Keel, the second baseman for the Snappers. I'm going to let Landon Wiley know if he's watching right now that the amp that we used, I found a way to get it hooked into the iPad. We used the amp, and 4 microphones are set up today. We were ready for a big conversation. Yes, the volume was a little lower than what I was hoping, but still experimenting with some new equipment on this was the Sioux Valley Coaches Show today as we celebrated that softball team advancing to the state tournament. But the volume was a little low, so we've got some adjusting to do as we move forward with the Coaches Show. Also do something called the Salzy Show 2.0, the continuation of what I had on the radio station before Alpha Media, the parent company for Brookings Radio, got rid of all the local programmers, me included. So the Salzy Show 2.0, also on the Salz Media YouTube channel. You can find those. 3-1 now to Dylan Keel, but that's where I rant and rave about those stupid Timberwolves that are getting absolutely crushed tonight. Keel is going to send that to shortstop, picked up by the third baseman, and that'll be fired across for out number 3. Great play by Parker Wingert as he ranged to his left and threw out Dylan Keel at first. The 5-3 putout to end the top of the 7th. For the Snappers, no hits, no runs. 1 strikeout for Wookie, and we'll move to the bottom of the 7th. A 9-2 lead for the Brookings Cubs. Looking to go 4-0 to start their season. I'm going to have to ask AJ if the Cubs have ever been. I'm sure they have, but when was the last time they were 4-0? Quick question here. Seventh inning stretch as people are up, or not. A couple of them are up. 7th inning stretch. You're supposed to stand up and sing the old Cracker Jack song, but take me out to the ball game. The tradition of baseball games everywhere, as the 7th inning stretch just allows you to, well, do exactly that. Get up out of your seat, move around a little bit. Major league ballparks, it's usually the end of the concession stands, or at least the beer sales. Bad news for all you alcoholics out there. You got until the 7th inning to get all those beers in, and then you can't buy any more at the concession stand. So we're going to move to the bottom of the 7th. The cleanup hitter coming to the plate for the Cubs is number 44, the right fielder and coach, Rhett Zielinski, coming to the plate. 2 strikeouts and a ground out to third to start his night. He's 0 for 3. We'll see what Rhett can do with this at bat. It is a hard shot to shortstop, fielded and thrown across. So Rhett will be retired on the 6-3 putout. It'll be 1 out for the Cubs. Bring up the 5-hitter in the lineup. This is the third baseman, number 14, Parker Wingert. There's only one game in the WNBA tonight. That was the Indiana Fever without Caitlin Clark getting beat by the Washington Mystics. The Fever now 2-3 on their season. The Lynx still undefeated out of Minnesota as Nafisha Collier, an absolute star for the Minnesota Lynx. That ball fouled off a 1-1 count now. No, sorry, 0-2 I think is what we're going to have. Yes, 0-2 now to Winghart. Still Brady Stufan on the mound in the relief appearance, and that's going to be on the inside corner. A strikeout looking for Winghart. Out number 2 here in the bottom of the 7th. That'll bring the 6-hitter in the lineup to the plate. Miles Reese, the left fielder, number 7 for the Brookings Cubs. A 9-2 lead here in the 7th inning. Fouled off, 0-1. We get in between innings. I'll go through the standings of the WNBA. By far the best franchise in Minnesota, the Minnesota Lynx. 4 banners hanging from the rafters of Target Center. It has been 34 years since a Minnesota men's professional sports franchise has made it to the finals of anything. The Twins, the last one to get to the finals and win a World Series in 1991. There hasn't been anything else to get past a conference final since then. Another foul ball. That goes off the foot of Reese. Still an 0-2 count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. 9-2 lead for the Cubs. Big shot into center field. In between 3 snappers, it drops, and it'll be Elliot Erickson that'll pick that up, the left fielder. So a bloop single for Miles Reese. Hit number 11 on the night for the Cubs. And they'll have a man on first with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th, and that'll bring up the 7-hitter in lineup. This is the designated hitter, number 22, Lincoln Vasgard, to the plate. He'll pop one up into right field. Stufan running on, has an eyeball on it, and it comes out of his glove. So an error in right, and that'll bring runners to first and third for the Cubs here with 2 outs. As Reese was running, gets all the way over to third. Vasgard reaches on the error. And that'll bring up the 8-hitter in the lineup. This is Arlen Peters, number 15, the first baseman for the Cubs. Now runners on first and third. Tough play on right field. He had a long ways to run at that. Had it in the glove, and it just popped out of there. Good pitch by Stufan. 0-1. Pop straight up. Elliot Erickson ranging for it. The left fielder for the Snappers called off by Aiden Stewart, and he'll make the play in left center field. And that'll end the threat for the Cubs in the 7th inning as we move to the top of the 8th. 9-2 lead for the Cubs.
Left in the 7th for the Cubs, no runs, 1 hit, 1 Elkton error, 2 runners left on base.
Clear everything out as we move to the 8th inning, and a 9-2 lead for the Cubs. This look at the WNBA standings as we celebrate the best franchise in Minnesota, the Minnesota Lynx. It's going to be brought to us by Jimmy John's right on 6th Street. We also can have Nick's Hamburgers be a part of this. Buster's Auto Brokers. Buster's Auto Brokers, right on the corner, right on the price, right in Mitchell. Buster Vincent, a proud sponsor of Sioux Valley Athletics. We'll bring him a part of the Cubs, sure, here in the Brookings summer season here. The Minnesota Lynx 5-0 in their season, best record in the WNBA. The only other undefeated team left, the New York Liberty in the Eastern Conference. Lynx are on top of the Western Conference, one game above the Phoenix Mercury. Chasing is probably going to be the Las Vegas Aces by the end of that. They're 2-2 on their season. But the Lynx, just as strong and good as they were last year, brought the whole starting lineup back, and it is Nafisha Collier who is leading that squad, probably in a lot of their different categories. But they just had a win over the Seattle Storm, 82-77. Their next game up is the 30th. Today's 28th. Will that make their next game on Friday then, I would imagine? I'm trying to do a calendar in my head. I don't know how well that's going. Pitching for the Cubs now. This will be Henry Hamrich. Justin Koffel is in right, perhaps, now? We'll figure it out eventually. Yeah, Koffel now in right field. I think there was another substitution in there too, but we'll figure it out as we go along. On the mound now, Henry Hamrich gets ahead of Aiden Stufen, the batter for the Snappers, 0-2 now, here in the top of the 8th. Hard pitch there, just inside. Aiden Erickson, the third hitter in the lineup for the Snappers. He's number 0, the third baseman. He is 0 for 3 on his night. Reached on an error. Two and 2 now. And that'll be right on the outside corner, a strikeout for Hamrich to start his relief appearance. One out now as the cleanup hitter for the Elkton Snappers comes to the plate. This is number 16, the center fielder now, Aiden Stewart. Left-hander. With one out here in the top of the 8th. Good pitch, 0-1. Tapped foul into the netting. Oh and 2 to Stewie. Ooh, strike 3 on the inside corner. 2 strikeouts to begin the relief appearance. Hamrich throwing hard. And that'll bring up the 5th hitter in the lineup. This is the catcher for the Snappers, number 13, Charlie Harming, coming to the plate. I have some stats on Nafisha Collier when we get in between innings here, just to give you some numbers that she's playing with. Swing and a miss on that. 1-1 now. Hamrich throwing hard here. Harming swings through that. 1-2 now. Nine to 2 lead for the Cubs here. Hamrich trying to strike out the side here in the 8th. And will do so. Throwing smoke. 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 8th as the Snappers are struck out. The Snapper mow 'em down inning as the old Twins lore does. Move to the bottom of the 8th. A 9-2 lead for the Brookings Cubs. Coming to the plate, Zach Struck is scheduled to come to the plate. I'm not sure if he's still in the ball game with some of the substitutions that happened there. So we're going to find out who comes to the plate. It'll be a mystery until I see the number when he walks up. For Nafisha Collier leading the 5-0 Minnesota Lynx, the best record in the WNBA. Their next game is in Phoenix on Friday night, the 4-1 Phoenix Mercury. Nafisha Collier averaging 26.8 points per game. She is shooting at a 52.7 percentage rate and also a 94% shooter from the free throw line. At the moment, she's averaging 7.8 rebounds per game, so just short of a double-double for Nafisha Collier. Fee, as they lovingly call her, the leader of the Minnesota Lynx, as they have just been winning and winning and winning. They are in line to be a quality team by the time the season is done. I believe the new pitcher for the Snappers is going to be Dylan Keel, as the Snappers have moved some guys around as well. Dylan Keel now stepping onto the mound. Looks like Aiden Erickson has switched over to second base. Brady Stupin now moves over to third base. And Dylan Keel on the mound.
Now pitching for the Snappers, number 3, Dylan Keel.
Coming up to bat first for the Brookings Cubs, it is going to be number 28. This is Logan Anderson. I believe he is our new catcher as well, so let me put that in. Dylan Keel getting his warm-ups in here as we move to the bottom of the 8th inning, a 9-2 lead for the Brookings Cubs. They've got 9 runs on 11 hits. The Snappers, 2 runs on 5 hits. And we move to the bottom of the 8th inning. Have we celebrated the Minnesota Lynx, the best franchise in Minnesota history? Have we done it enough? I'm not sure. I'm being told yes. We have covered them enough. Having some fun up here in the press box. For those Timberwolves, let me give you a score update on that. It is 103-72 with 8.5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. The T-Wolves getting absolutely blown out by the Oklahoma City Thunder. Logan Anderson now at the plate. He will start with a 1-1 count now. Dylan Keel on the mound for the Snappers, as my remote is no longer wanting to do things for me, so let me do that. 1-2 now. Two and two. Logan Anderson, the new catcher for the Cubs, replacing Zach Struck. Dylan Keel laboring on the mound so far. 3-2 now, full count for Anderson. And that'll be a walk to Anderson. He will reach on a base on balls. So we'll do that and do that. And a new hitter now in the extra hitter spot for the Brookings Cubs. This is number 34, Matt Gerard, sorry. Want to know to Gerard. Logan Anderson on first. Gerard's got a duck underneath that, 2-0. There's a strike in the outside corner. 2-1 now. Swing and a miss there, and that'll do it for Gerard. A strikeout for Dylan Keel. And that'll bring the top of the order to the plate for the Cubs. Henry Hamrich, the fireballer reliever. Hamrick. Sorry, I've been mispronouncing it all night. Hamrick, as I just heard AJ, our scorekeeper and general manager and PA announcer. Hamrick. been saying it wrong all night, Henry. Sorry, I apologize, man. That's outside. 2-0 now to Hamrick. Now I got it right. Hopefully. That is behind Hamrick. 3-0 now. Lost the handle on that. Logan Anderson on first. Big lead for the Brookings Cubs on a beautiful Wednesday night here at Bob Sheldon Field. That'll be too high, and that will be a walk. Anderson moves down to second. Hamrick base on balls. He's on first. So 2 men on with 1 out, and the left-hander, Isaac Bonner, comes to the plate, number 25. He is our shortstop tonight. 2 men on for Bonner. Let's fouls that off. 0-1. Popped up. Shortstop calling for it. He will reach for it and bring that in. Shortstop is Logan Keel for the Snappers. That is out number 2 for the Cubs. So 2 outs now. Still runners on first and second. That'll bring the third hitter in lineup to the plate. This is Colin Gibson, number 32. He is the second baseman for the Cubs. 9-2 lead. 1-0 to Gibson. 6:34 left to go in the fourth quarter. The Thunder, a 106-72 lead over the Minnesota Timberwolves. Timberwolves are about to get closed out 4-1 in the Western Conference Finals. It's about the same thing they did last year, as it was the Dallas Mavericks that took them out pretty easily in the Western Conference Finals last year. So back-to-back appearances in the WCF, but just can't get over that hump. There's a good pitch there. 1-2. Two men on for the Cubs. A 1-2 pitch. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. And a swing to miss there. Out number 3 for the Cubs. And the Snappers will come to the top of the 9th. Facing their last at bat, as the Cubs have a 9-2 lead and move to the top of the 9th inning. For the Snappers pitchers, that is strikeout 10, 11, 12. That is strikeout number 13 on the night. Something the Cubs will probably talk about. Couple other sponsors we get to thank. Back Alley Meats, a fantastic butcher shop in downtown Volga. Unbelievable stuff. Thank you to Dan and his family for being a sponsor of all of the things we do on Saul's Media. And Sioux Valley Athletics, for that matter, but we'll bring him into the Cubs. Sure, I'll talk to him about it, see what his thoughts are on that. But a great butcher shop, man. Anything you need, man. Steaks, chops, burgers, brats. Whether you're grilling out on a Wednesday night just like this, or you've got some sort of backyard party, man, they've got everything you need at Back Alley Meats. Thank you for being a sponsor. Also, try the jerky chips, something new that they were trying this spring. They are addictive, if nothing else, and fantastic. Good Lord. Back Alley Meats, man, a fantastic butcher shop, downtown Volga. The other sponsor we can thank, Nick's Hamburgers, the legendary hamburger spot in downtown Brookings. A staple and a tradition of anything you're going to do in downtown Brookings. You can buy burgers by the bag. They encourage that. Nick's Hamburger Spot, man, just a tradition in downtown Brookings. And a proud sponsor of everything we do on Saul's Media here. For the Snappers coming to the plate, this is Corey Hannenberg. Ground ball to short, and that'll be the first put out of the 9th inning, as that is a 6-3 ground ball. 1 out now. In the top of the 9th, Cubs can close this out with a 9-2 lead. That'll bring the pole vaulter to the plate. The 300-meter hurdler, who's got a state track meet starting tomorrow. This is number 11, Elliot Erickson. And that'll be a strike in the outside corner. Erickson a single in 3 at-bats tonight. Swings through that, 0-2. And swings through that. Another strikeout for Henry Hamrick. That's his 4th strikeout in this relief appearance now. 4th strikeout in 5 batters that he's faced. Now coming up, the 8th hitter in the lineup for the Snappers. This is number 30, Brandon Stufen, the first baseman. That'll be low and outside. 1-0 to start to Brandon Stufen. Hamrick working fast out there, 2-0 though. Gets behind Stufen. Good pitch there. Strike on the outside corner, 2-1 now to Brandon Stufen, the first baseman for the Elkton Snappers. It's high and outside, 3-1 now. Swing and a miss on that, full count. 3-2 to Brandon Stufen with 1 out. Sorry, 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. Hammer can close it out right here. And a strikeout on the outside corner for Hamrick. That is strikeout number 5 in 2 innings of relief, and that is going to do it. A 9-2 victory for the Brookings Cubs as they move to 4-0 on their season. That is going to do it. So let me close out of that. I'm going to try one thing here on my phony phone. Let me open up Game Changer. Let me get you a schedule for these Brookings Cubs as they shake hands out there on the field. Brookings Cubs next up will be tomorrow night. We go to Baltic tomorrow night? I didn't know that. Okay, well, we're going to Baltic tomorrow night. After that, the next game up will be June 7th. I believe that is a tournament that is in Minnesota that I may not be able to get to because of a work schedule, but let me check on this quick. Next game up for the Cubs in Baltic tomorrow night. So, a 7:30 affair with the Baltic River Dogs. You can watch it right here. Just like most of the season for the Brookings Cubs. I got to check on that June 7th and 8th. I think that's a tournament in Minnesota. I'm not sure if I get to go to that. So tomorrow night in Baltic against the River Dogs, the Brookings Cubs will take a 4-0 record into Baltic. See what they can do there. Is there? Yeah, we do have no update on. There we go. An overall record for those Baltic River Dogs. They're 2-2 on their season. Nothing in the league standings yet, but this must be the first league game for each team. No, the league standings just aren't updated is all. Okay, so the Brookings Cubs 4-0 on their season. The River Dogs 2-2 as we move to that affair in Baltic tomorrow night. My first road game with these Brookings Cubs tomorrow night in Baltic, 7:30. Fantastic. I didn't even know that. After that, they are on the road. I believe it's the Eagle Lake Expos. This is in Arlington, Minnesota. I think that is a tournament that I don't get to go to because of a Bell Brand schedule. I got to look at that again. We'll play the Snappers again in Elkton on June 10th. That is a Tuesday night in Elkton. And then on the 12th of June, the Milroy Irish coming to Bob Sheldon Field. So that's the next few games up. But tomorrow night, another game right here on Saul's Media as we have the Cubs on the road in Baltic. I will have some sponsors for us tomorrow night. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for paying attention. Thanks for following along. Thanks for being a fan of Saul's Media. Tell all your friends, be subscribers, and you can see everything that we do right on the Jason Salzman YouTube channel, Saul's Media, as I'm calling it. Then you can follow along with the Brookings Cubs just like that. A big win, 9-2 tonight over the Elkton Snappers, moves the Brookings Cubs to 4-0 on their season. 9 runs on 11 hits, 1 error for the Cubs. Snappers, 2 runs on 5 hits. They had an error themselves. And that's going to do it for a Wednesday night. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night in Baltic. It's going to be a fun season with the Brookings Cubs all summer long. I'll talk to you tomorrow night.